This is from A Fool's Life by Akutagawa. They lived in peace, in the expansive shade of a great basho tree's leaves, even by train, over an hour away from Tokyo, in a house in a town on the seacoast. That's why. And this is from Private Party by Heather Crystal. Realistic flowers. At the dollar store, I bought a bouquet of fake flowers, and what could have been, but somehow, incredibly, wasn't. It only cost $2, but still that did not help. I planted the flowers among actual flowers, because what else can you do? I was so happy I could have torn your head apart.
This is Intensity and Height by Vallejo. I want to write, but out comes foam. I want to say so much and I mire. There is no spoken cipher which is not a sum. There is no written pyramid without a core. I want to write, but I feel like a puma. I want to laurel myself, but I stew in onions. There is no spoken cough which doesn't come to broom. There is no God nor Son of God without progression. For that, then, let's go eat grass, the flesh of sobs, the fruit of whales, our melancholy soul canned. Let's go, I'm struck. Let's go drink that already drunk, raven. Let's go fecundate your mate.
This poem is called Poem by Bernadette Mayer from the Scarlet Tanager. Poem. Songbirds take a bath in our elephant pool. Turtles don't come to our turtle yet. Sunflower, cytology, apprehend the weeds in our garden. Cytologies, you mean? And while there's poison ivy, as in Drew Barrymore, or dream creatures knocking at the window, threatening to kill you on a snowy road, and now the Luna moth creeps along as creeks bring blue herons flying into flower watches like herons nesting. Oh, what mayhem we behold, so many Gnostic beings landing at our doorstep, ready to start something, or else there'll be a rainbow, or parhelion, or fire, or with the party to put an end to hunger, as they say in the old days. And should we have a rent strike, a la Hope's Corner? What wilt thou? Frogs and bugs and little dead farm animals in the hay. Hell, I've lived in New York City. I know about dead beings like all get out, of the sidewalks and burning buildings, along with the living, though the living usually stay, unless they're the living dead.
This is a poem by Mathias Svalina called And Let's Say You Wrote About Strawberries. But then one day I realized that the flowers in the gardens behind gates were real, despite being flowers in gardens behind gates. The white flickering, secret sentences, red unlocking from orange, the hysterical clouds, the stone still stone though cracked into gravel. I knew it then, the intimacy of beauty without conditions. Sometimes love feels like the stone face rock climbers climb, like you find each tiny crevice and indentation and are like, I can stand there. I can make that work if I twist each part of body painfully, excruciatingly so. And then even that feels somehow a success, because you haven't fallen. Pee in one bottle and drink from another. That is rock climbing. I have been so covered in condition it seems there was no hope. When part of a book didn't interest me, I set it on fire. Sometimes it seems we start with love right where we should end with it. The violent blue of the sky, the patches, I'm not scared of them. But when you eat a strawberry, there is something to be learned about love from every step. And let's say you wrote about strawberries, the red bricks, the scent of spray paint still in the air in the alley, eruption and imminence, ice cube and tooth. Where it gets interesting is where the seams burst to show their definitions, grasped to manifest to liquid. A strawberry is a fairer house than prose. Basically, all I care about tonight is strawberries, something flesh and wood of me. What I know about love that is true about love, I've learned from the real water, the real hands holding the real water. But everything that happened was real this night.
This is a poem by Eric Baus from the book Tuned Droves. It's called Orange Water. The bloom, the boiling water, bees, real flowers release bees. Real flowers bloom orange. Real bees bloom in boiling water. Real water releases bees. Boiling real bees releases flowers. The flowers bloom, the bees bloom, the water blooms, the boiling blooms. Real flowers, real bees, real water. Flowers are not real. Bees are not real. Water is not real. Release the bees. Boil the bees. Water the bees. Real water. Orange flowers. Orange water.
This is Saving Tallow by Barbara Guest. Visible tallow of the hurricane night. Thin, fair candle, a yacht cradling the room's deep water, where the wave raises its sail, a procession of shoulders, the falling olives on yellow knees, and cities, drowned in their comet clothing, dragged from the sea. Candle, lone palm tree, lonely diver, covered with sea lice. Most vertical, the room dedicates its curves to you. There was once a shadow called Louis. There was once an eyebrow whose name was Domingo.
Woo!
Once there were children, grown-ups, organs. There were moving legs and there was speech. In the daylight, there were small whimpers made by the African cat. In the candlelight, there were couplings of such sonority evening colors merely left their cards. No one drew back the curtains. There were no curtains. The candlelight fell on ground, and like a candle up stood the water hose. There were many mathematical forms. The obliquity of a painting, her mouth drawn by a corner. Transverses on the aerolight where the smile flies off. At the room's center, a hair part. The nose of a window, louvered as coral rock where a person walked, was sleepy, must be awakened, for adorations and questions. Is marine related to the diving fish? Take me on your dolphin skin. I shall be absent soon. Saving the tallow with capable hands, seizing with the loyal closed eyes of foliage. Puff.
And to close up, this is a poem by Gerard de Nerval, Awakening in the Carriage. This is what I saw. On the road, the trees fleeing, all intermingled like a defeated army. Underneath, the ground swaying in the high wind like rolling waves of clod and paving stone. Among the green plains, the steeples seemed to lead hamlets of plaster houses, tile-roofed, which trotted along like flocks of white sheep, marked in red on their backs. And the drunken mountains tottered. The river, like a boa constrictor, stretched over the whole valley, darted out to wrap itself around them. I was in the carriage, having just awoken.